Hello, welcome to lesson 11b. Are you a morning person? Definitely am. So in this lesson, you are going to learn in grammar, word order or phrasal verbs. In vocab, we will learn some phrasal verbs and also in pronunciation, some linking sounds. Okay? Let's start with one, speaking and reading. Answer the questions below. Okay, so now in letter B, you read an interview with Sarah Moore Peach. Match the questions and answer. Okay, so you should read this interview with her and then match the questions to the answers. Pause the video and do it. Good. Let's then check your answers. This is the order, okay, of the answers and the questions. Fantastic. Now, in letter C, great. So now cover the answers and look at the questions. You will try to remember her answers. Okay, so look at these questions here. Can you remember Sarah's answers? Fantastic. In letter D, answer the questions below. That's great. Great. So now let's move on to page 87 now. Vocabulary, phrasal verbs. Look at some sentences from the interview and then you're going to say what the highlighted phrases mean. Read them. So here, get up, turn it off, pick up, and give up. These are all phrasal verbs. Do you know what they are? Let's read. Phrasal verbs. So like wake up, get up, turn on, turn off, give up, etc. These are common phrasal verbs. They are verbs with a preposition or an adverb. Sometimes the meaning of the two separate words can help you guess the meaning of the phrasal verb. For example, turn off. If you put them apart, okay, turn and then off. Sometimes the meaning of the two words does not help you at all, like give up, for example. Okay, so these phrasal verbs, they are very common to be used in spoken English, and native English speakers, they use them a lot. So it's mandatory for you to include them in your list for things to study. All right, it's very important to learn them. Now, in B, you will read, after reading this information box, can you think of a phrasal verb that means these things? Think of some examples. Okay, let's check your answers. Here we have some examples. Okay, let's go then together to Vocabulary Bank, page 163, and learn a few more phrasal verbs. Come on. Match the sentences and the pictures. Let's go. Pause the video. We have some pictures here. Try to match them with these phrasal verbs. Do it. Great. Now listen and then check your answers.
5.2 Phrasal verbs. 9.
The game will be over at about 5:30.
4. I need to give up fast food. 1.
Don't throw away that letter.
10. Turn down the music. It's very loud. 5.
Turn up the TV. I can't hear.
7. He looked up the words in a dictionary. 2.
Could you fill out this form?
12. I want to find out about hotels in Mexico City. 8.
It's bedtime. Go and put on your pajamas.
11. Could you take off your boots, please? 3.
My sister's looking after Jimmy for me today.
6. I'm really looking forward to the holidays.
Great. Fantastic. So this is the order, okay? Check if you did them right. Fantastic. Now, if the pictures didn't help much, you can use a dictionary to enlighten yourself, okay? That's great. Now, see, let's try to cover the sentences and look at the pictures, trying to remember the phrasal verbs. And down here in letter D, you will have all the phrasal verbs from files 1 through 10. Can you remember what they mean? So pause the video, check them out, okay? And try to see if you can remember the meaning of them. Okay, here it's important for you to notice the green section, type 1, are kind of phrasal verbs where we don't use an object after them, okay? For example, the verb and the particle, on, up, etc., they are never separated. I get up. So here, for example, these verbs, I get up, or come on, go away, go wow, stand up, sit down. These phrasal verbs, they can never be separated, okay? Now, the phrasal verbs in type 2, the red ones, these ones, they can be separated, okay? You can use an object together with them. The verbs and the particles on up, etc. can be separated. For example, turn the TV. The TV is the object here, okay? Turn the TV on. As we can see, we can use the object or even the pronouns, okay? The object pronouns in the middle of them, between the verb and the preposition. For example, turn it off. Try your clothes on. Try your shoes on. Give it back. Give it back to me. Give my book back to me. Can you take me back to the store? Can you call me back later? You need to pay him back. Write it down. Put them away. Pick us up. All right. So we can use prepositions. We can use the object, the object pronoun, or even things. Okay, in the middle of the verb and the particles. Now, the verbs in type 3 we can also use with objects, but the particles and the verbs, they can never be separated. For example, look for your keys. It is not correct to say look your keys for. So it's wrong to do that, all right? You should never separate them. Like here, for example, I am looking for my keys. Please get on the bus, get off the bus. Or I don't really get along well with my cousins. Okay, so you can use these examples. Fantastic. Going back to page 87, now we're going to grammar so we can learn some word order of phrasal verbs. Look at a picture and underline the object of the phrasal verb in each sentence, will you? Okay. great. Let's then check your answers. The alarm clock in the first two sentences here, turn off the alarm clock. So alarm clock is the object. Turn the alarm clock off. So alarm clock in both sentences are the objects, okay? In number three, we don't have the noun. We have an object pronoun. Turn it off. It's obviously talking about the alarm clock, but we are using it instead, okay? Fantastic. So now in letter B, you will complete the rules about separable phrasal verbs with nouns or pronouns. Pause the video and read, then answer them. Checking your answers. So here, if the object of a phrasal verb is a noun, you can put it after the verb. You can put it after the verb plus up, on, and the particle, okay? Or between the verb and up, on, the particles in general, okay? So if the object is a noun, like in the case of the alarm clock, you can put it after the phrasal verb or put it between the phrasal verb, okay? If the object of a phrasal verb is pronoun, you must put it between the verb and the particles. So whenever you use the pronoun, the only option you have is to use it between the verb and the particle, like turn it off. You don't use turn off it. No, it is wrong. Turn it off. Pronouns always come in the middle of the phrasal verb, okay? Let's go to page 146 so we can work more on phrasal verbs. Let's go. I will play this audio here. You will repeat these examples.
5.3. 1.
What time do you get up?
I don't usually go out during the week. 2.
Put on your coat. Put your coat on. Put it on.
Turn off the TV. Turn the TV off. Turn it off. 3.
I'm looking for my glasses.
Have you found your glasses?
No, I'm still looking for them.
Ok, então para a gente entender sobre phrasal verbs então geralmente é um verbo juntamente com uma partícula, né, que pode ser uma preposição ou um advérbio. E essa preposição ou esse advérbio, eles vão alterar o sentido desse verbo, dando um sentido novo. Como nós vimos previamente, algumas vezes, né, se você simplesmente separar o verbo da preposição, é possível você entender, compreender o significado, né, do phrasal verb. Mas em outras vezes realmente é mais difícil, então a gente precisa pesquisar para ter certeza, tá? Como nós vimos aqui já então ali no vocabulary, alguns phrasal verbs podem ser separados, outros não. Alguns a gente pode usar um objeto, outros não. Tá? Então aqui no primeiro exemplo, nós estamos vendo aqui então phrasal verbs que não, onde nós não geralmente usamos um objeto como, tá? No exemplo 2, nós temos phrasal verbs, né, que tem um objeto e que são separáveis. Assim sendo, nós podemos usar o phrasal verb tanto podemos usar o objeto, né, da frase, tanto entre o phrasal verb como depois do phrasal verb, tá? Quando o objeto for um pronome, né? Ó, me, it, him, um pronome objeto no caso, né? Ele sempre vem entre o verbo e a partícula, ok? Como aqui, ó, put it on. É errado colocar o it após, tá? E no exemplo 3, nós temos casos então de phrasal verbs que têm um objeto, mas que não podem ser separados, ok? Look for, né? Por exemplo, o look não pode ser separado do for, jamais. I am looking for my glasses, ok? Muito bem, então aqui nós podemos voltar lá no vocabulary, né, na página 163 para checar mais exemplos, ok? Fantastic. Now, let's do some exercises. A, circle the correct form. If both are correct, you can check both, okay? Check the box. Let's go. Pause the video and do it. Great. Let's check your answers. These are the answers for letter A. Great. Now in letter B, complete the sentences with it or them and a word from the list. Pause the video and do it. Great. Let's check your answers. These are the answers for activities 1 through 7. Fantastic. Let's go back to page 87 then. We have pronunciation now. Linking. Listen and write the missing words.
5.4. 1,
There's a wet towel on the floor. Please pick it up.
2. I can't concentrate with that music on. Please turn it off. 3,
If you don't know what the word means, look it up.
4. Why have you taken your coat off? Put it on. 5,
This book was very expensive. Please look after it.
6. Why are you wearing your coat in here? Take it off.
Listen again, check your answers. Okay, let's see. Did you write these words? Now, play again and try to practice these linking sounds for the phrasal verbs, okay? Try to link the phrasal verbs and pronouns, like pick it up, turn it off. Listen again. Great. All right. Now, speaking, this activity will be performed during your online class. So read this questionnaire and think about your answers. And then you will be able to interview and answer about them during your class, okay? Fantastic. Great. So now we are going to move on to the workbook for 11B. Pages 71 and 72, I will play the listening exercise so you can do it. Let's go.
File 11B. Listening.
Can I ask you about your job, Jerry?
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
What time do you go to bed?
Well, I don't often get home before 6 o'clock in the morning, and it usually takes me a little while to relax. It's probably about 7 by the time I go to sleep.
And what time do you have to get up again?
I usually get up at 1 o'clock to have lunch with my family. After that, I go back to bed again for an hour or so, until about 3 o'clock.
Do you need an alarm clock to wake up?
No, I never use one. I wake up the first time when my children come home from school for lunch. The second time, my wife wakes me up. That's when I get up for good.
How do you feel when you wake up?
It depends on the day, really. If I've only worked for a day or two, I'm full of energy. But if it's after the fifth or sixth night in a row, I'm absolutely exhausted. That's when I find it really hard to get out of bed.
What do you do about meals, Jerry?
Well, like I said, my first meal of the day is what you would call lunch. Then I have dinner at about midnight with some other drivers in a cafe. When I get home in the morning, I have something light, like a cheese sandwich or some toast before I go to bed.
Would you like to change your working hours, Jerry?
If I change my working hours, I wouldn't earn as much money. There's a lot more work at night because people go out for dinner and to the theater or movies, and then it's late and they need to get home, and they don't want to drive because they're tired. I enjoy my job, really, because I meet a lot of interesting people.
That's great. So that's it. Thank you for watching. See you next video. Bye bye.